Philip Sykes here with ClemsonTigers.com with our IPTE ACC Outdoor Track and Field Championships preview. We're here with Director of Track and Field Lawrence Johnson. Your teams travel up to Charlottesville, Virginia, Thursday through Saturday, April 19th through 21st. How's the first month or so gone of outdoor season?
It's going along pretty well. I think that we've used the Orlando meet, Central Florida, and Arizona, and the Florida relays as kind of dress rehearsal, if you will, for these ACC championships. And so we have pretty much everybody ready to go. I think injury-wise, we're better than we were at this point last year. So we got most of the athletes ready to go, and so it's been good. It's been kind of a long part of the year because we come right off an indoor season into a pretty competitive outdoor season without a whole lot of rest, a whole lot of training. They got to get some meets in early to prepare for the championships, but it's been pretty good so far.
Your women's team, of course, ranked number 3 in the nation. They're going for their 6th consecutive ACC championship. You see the trophies behind us here. What do you guys do as a staff to continue to keep your kids hungry?
We just kind of like to set new goals after every season. After the indoor season, the women's team finished really well, and we finished 5th nationally. And then we came back and we reset those goals, and that indoor season became history. And the goal is to be successful at the ACC Outdoor Championship and be the #1 team in the country at the end of the year. And I think that with those lofty goals, the kids have to come to training sessions every day and really, really work hard, or else we won't meet those goals. And there's a lot of good teams out there that's going to be contending for the same titles, and we got to be ready to go. Taking
a look at some of your personnel as we run down your women's team, obviously very strong in the sprints and hurdles. Who are some of the key individuals we can look for this weekend?
We got to have a great weekend out of Desiree Bryant. She's a freshman. But she's a very good freshman. I think one of the best freshmen in the country. She'll run on a bunch of relays for us, 4x1, possibly the 4x4. She'll do the 100 meters and the 200 meters, and so we count on her big in those events. I think that Bridget Owens has really stepped up as a leader for us. As a young sophomore, she'll do the relays and the 100 and the 200 and the high hurdles. We'll need her to have a big weekend. We'll need Jasmine Edgerson. She's always been kind of our utility person to continue to do some of the things that she's done at these championships. And on the jump side, looking for April Sinkler. She rejoins the group after not having an indoor season. We're probably flirting around with the idea of just having her long jump and triple jump for these championships to prepare her more for the national championship scene. And Jasmine Brunson, we need her to continue to do what she's done throughout the year too. In the throws area, I think Brittany Waller will continue to lead that area. As a junior this year, she's been throwing well. She's been more consistent for us and her throwing events, and so we look for her to kind of do some great things for her. And the mainstays, Brianna Rollins, and of course Marlena Wesh. She carries a huge stick for us as well. In the longer sprints, she'll have a busy weekend, and she'll compete on both the relays and the 400 and 200. Some other youngsters that'll do well, but distance-wise, Alyssa Kulik will lead that group, and then Kim Ruck will be the co-star in that area. So a lot of different areas with some very good ACC-type athletes and national-type athletes, and we need everybody to kind of carry their load through these championships to be successful.
Seems like you've gotten a couple of off-the-radar athletes on your women's team who really stepped up so far in outdoor season. Christy Gasparino in the pole vault certainly comes to mind, as well as Natalie Anthony in the distance.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Those two athletes have really emerged in their sophomore seasons as true competitors, and I think they're going to be, tough on the ACC level, and they've even moved up well on the national level too. Also adding to that group is a young Kenny Harrison. She's been slowly developing in her freshman season as a dual hurdle threat, and I think as the season progresses, she'll only get better. So we got a lot of young kids that are stepping up and led by some veterans, and look forward to these championships.
Shifting gears a little bit towards your men's team, finished 4th in this meet a year ago, 5th back in the indoor meet in February. Obviously, you've got the likes of Florida State, Virginia Tech at the top. Where do you see your team fitting in the upper echelon of the ACC?
I think that if we go and have a great meet, we could be a top 3 team. Everything would have to go right for us. We have a young group with some great leaders. On the other end, older guys, Spencer Adams. We'll rely on him heavily to carry us in some relays and some open events and both hurdles. I think guys like Ty McCormick, a young guy, he'll stick his nose in there and step it up. Chris Slate will also do well for us in the distance area. I think that Corey Thalheimer and Marcus Brown and the throws have really announced themselves as some of the better guys on the team. And a youngster in Ty Christie will kind of help fill some of those points too. But on the men's side, it'll be a total team effort, and we'll need everybody firing on the right cylinders to kind of get some things done. Jump-wise, Shy Carpenter has really led that group most of the year, and he's shown himself to be a real gamer. Jamil Abdul-Mateen has shown some glimpses of great things too. So it'll be a total team effort. We got to go to that meet and really not have any miscues. I think everybody has to do their job, and I think if we can, we could be a top 3 team.
You have a couple of the true veterans in the short sprints in terms of Warren Frazier and Justin Murdoch. What are your expectations for those two this weekend?
Really expect for those two to really come alive. We've kind of backed off as much sprinting as they usually would have done up to this point, just so that they'll be better prepared to go into these ACC championships. The 100, 200-meter event is always tough in the ACC, as we had some of the best guys in the country contesting those events. But I think that these two guys are poised, especially Warren. Warren's had an outstanding outdoor season so far for us. He's really led that group. And Justin's coming around. He usually comes around slowly. But they've always shown their best at the ACC championships. And so hopefully this year won't differ from the rest, and they'll really come into true form at these championships.
You guys have suffered a couple of unfortunate injuries, I think, in the first month of outdoor season. From a health standpoint, where are your teams at as we head into conference championships?
I think we're better off than we've been in a long time on the women's side. Brianna nursed a few injuries last week, but she's had a full week of practice this week, which is a good sign for her. Lamont Jackson on the men's side is kind of gimping along. He's had some problems that he's dealt with all indoor season and continue to plague him this outdoor season. So I would say from where we were last year at this point, and even from an indoor standpoint, we're better off. I feel good about where we are. The trainers have been doing a great job getting the guys and girls back on the track. So feel better than what we had last year at this point, and hopefully we can keep it that way on throughout the postseason.
And there you have it, a few thoughts from Director of Track and Field Lawrence Johnson. His Tigers travel up to Charlottesville, Virginia, Thursday through Saturday for the ACC Outdoor Championships. Look to add to that hardware right there you see behind us.